Here's a church group. They just went from Australia to the Ukraine, and they helped refugees. And so they're like flying back home, and there's this was so awesome. And so you know how you're like at a summer camp, and things are so cool, and then you're all amped up, and you're
Just
like,
into
God,
it.
I'm the. So one of the guys there, I don't know if he's a worship leader or the pastor of the church, or one of the pastors. And so he grabs out his guitar. You may have seen this on your feed. So he and the others that are in the group and some others who know the song are on the plane worshiping. Maybe, I don't know, 30 seconds or so.
It's awesome.
Yeah, the Chris Tomlin tune.
I love when this happens.
Yeah. So, and then you can see some of the people that are really getting into it. You know, there's one guy that's on there. He's like, you know, all's good and stuff, but please just sit down.
Yeah, he's got a look on his face that I'm not enjoying this at all.
Let me tell you, Mama Liz is one of the types, and she's going to be on a plane in the next couple of days going off to a vacation that they saved for 13 years to go to England. And she will talk to everybody that's on her aisle and then some.
Oh, I will.
Seriously.
I talk to the stewardesses. I mean, I will. And now if my family's on there with me, why not?
No, ma'am.
That's Harlan, by the way. She's going to be in with us next week, so she's kind of getting behind the scenes.
It's not like
stuff.
I get personal or anything. Like, I'm just like, where are you from? Hey, I'm Liz.
Okay,
I'm
so
from...
let me get this. Okay, Liz will talk to everybody on the plane. Harlan, I'm guessing you put the mask
I will
on
talk
your
to
eyes
no one.
and sleep.
I put my earbuds in. I look forward. I don't talk. I don't look at people. I just sit there. I get through the ear popping, and I just do my best to sleep.
So you and I, let's just hypothetically, we're sitting next to each other, and I'm like, hey, you know, where are you from? So you would be annoyed by that?
So annoyed.
Just even a little, because I can pick up
So
on
annoyed.
social cues and say, okay, she's not really into it.
I'm
so.
in the middle. I will talk to somebody if they talk to me, but if there's certain personality types that you can talk to, and those that you're like, okay, enough. You know,
you get it. You
stop
feel that.
probing me with all these questions.
Right. No.
I don't know you.
I learned stranger danger, and I will not talk to you. So if you say, where are you from? Oh, I'm from, and I'll say a big city, or I'll be like,
You'll just go
the
all
whole
rando.
state, and then I'll be done. And then I'll look at the window like it's talking to me, and then be done.
Oh my goodness.
the
Which I would
earbuds
get.
go in. Wow. Yeah.
So there was a flight from Alaska, and it was like 10 hours that we were on with a mission trip. Every kid fell asleep, and it was just me and a stewardess. We chatted the entire flight. Like just, I mean, we
Hey, we're
exchanged numbers.
besties. I can see you
We
do this. I can see Liz doing this.
You exchange numbers?
Yeah, I mean, it was like we got to know each other.
I barely want to ask for a Diet Coke.
Friend girl. What?
No, like leave me alone.
But I'm just trying to be nice. I'm invested in who you are.
And here's the thing. Harlan's one of the nicest people on the planet.
And very outgoing.
She talks
and
to
sociable.
she talks to everybody, but not on a plane.
I don't
No.
get it. You just want your 9 hours to yourself.
I don't want to be in conversation with somebody if you.
Okay, I have a question for Harlan. Claustrophobic? Are you claustrophobic?
No.
No. Are you, if you're in a tight space and others are around, you don't want to be around all the others in a tight space?
I mean, I guess I get anxiety from it.
So I think that's why.
So you're saying I can't hug you on the plane?
You can't hug me anyway.
Girl, I'm coming over there. What?
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Harlan spending time with us this morning. You know her from the afternoons. Liz is going off to England on a vacation, so Harlan's going to be with us next week.
Cheerio.
Yeah, so you actually will have someone that you will enjoy throughout next week.
What?
So, I meant me. What? I mean, Liz goes, I can't be by myself. Oh, that came out so wrong. Anyway, here's what's fascinating. Here's the fascinating thing to me, okay? So, Liz is going to be on this plane. She's going to talk to everybody on the planet on this plane. I mean, she's going to get to know everybody. They're going to be best friends. Karaoke will happen on this plane all the way to England.
No. Oh, that's
Did
my
I just?
dream.
Yeah, she'll bring the
my
machine, everything. Harlan on the other side. I don't know if you heard, but she doesn't talk to people on the plane.
No, there's no reason to talk to people.
Yeah, so.
That just hurts me. That hurts me physically.
No, I get that. I'm in the middle. I mean, I can have a good conversation with people, but if somebody's like, I'm not connecting with this person, I just want to shut down and please be quiet.
Well, I will pick
You know?
up on social cues, and if somebody obviously doesn't want to, okay.
But you don't know when people are going to pick up on it and when they're not. So I just don't
She
even
just,
risk it.
the earbuds
shut it
goes
down,
in. Yeah, she might as well put on one of those masks over the eyes to go to sleep. So Peggy is here at 800-447-7234, wants to chime in on this.
You knew I just had to call in. What a great conversation. I sense all parties. And I'll tell you what, Harlan, she sounds like a whole different person than I've heard in the afternoon when I've listened to her. And I'm like, oh man, that just shows you that the airplane is a different duck. I don't ask questions of people, but I'm an extrovert. I'm going to just say good morning, hello, and
I could see you and Liz on a plane together, sitting in the same aisle.
you know that of course with the same sex is different. I mean, than a conversation that you would have with the opposite. It just is that way, So, anyways, but I'm excited for all of you, and I love listening to your stories. It's great. It keeps me going. So, thanks, you guys. Have a beautiful day.
Oh, yeah, you too, Peggy. And I'm the same way. On a plane, if there's a lady next to me, I'm not going to engage in a conversation. I'm the creepy old guy. I don't do that to people.
Well, you're
I just
not.
don't.
But I see that, and I think the same thing. I'll talk to any woman on the plane. I don't really start conversations with the guys because, I'm married, and that's not what I do. So, but if you're a woman, get ready to talk.
Absolutely not. And see, the difference between I can talk to you, but I need an out, and there's no out on a plane.
Can't
So
walk
we're
away.
not starting anything, because if you don't stop and I can't have my moments, I will put in my headphones and we can call it a day.
But you can say, I am so tired. I just want to take a nap, or I want to
That
read my
seems-
book. Or
See, that seems rude to me, so I just won't even start. I'll say hello
love this.
and then move away.
No, I just say it. I'm real. I'll be like, okay, I'm tired now. I'm losing my voice because I've talked for 9 hours. So let's put this to bed. Let's watch a movie.
Or you just start coughing. You go,
Don't do that.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
just got an open mic in on the My HISRadio app. If you don't have the app, free, Google Play in the App Store. But check this out.
Hey, this is Jessica, and I was just listening to you guys talk about being on the airplane, and I have to say that I side with Harlan on this one. I am also one of those people who tries their best to avoid conversation. I think it's mostly because I'm not very good at conversation and I'm very awkward. So when someone starts talking to me, I start looking for something else to do and fiddle with so I don't have to make eye contact. Have a great day.
That's so Harlan.
Oh, my
Thank you,
God.
Lauren.
Hey,
Yeah,
Thank you.
Harlan, who's usually with us in the afternoon, spending time with us this morning because she's going to be filling in for Liz next week.
Yeah, we did get a text. Now, Lauren says, I'm with Harlan. Don't talk to me or hug me. And she's an RN. And she texted me a picture of what her badge says.
What's it say?
There's a cactus, and it says, not a hugger.
Oh, I'm going to need one of those
For the plane?
for everyday use.
For everyday use?
You're getting a hug
Listen.
and well, I won't invade your personal space.
Here's one thing I don't want you to do. Don't interpret Harlan being a mean person because she's not.
No.
She's one of the most outgoing, likable people that I've met. Amazing.
thanks.
Just on a plane, she's different.
She just likes personal space.
I just don't like to be in conversations that I can't
Get out of.
If I'm in the middle seat, I can't look left or right because everybody's talking to me. I am going to look down and cry to myself.
Oh, wow.
Cry.
Yeah, well.
Didn't you cry on a plane once? Liz, I think, cried on a plane. What happened?
I had to leave my daughter. She was on a year-long mission trip, and I left her. We had met in Atlanta, and we separated. 10 more months left for her on this mission trip. The whole way from Atlanta back home, I cried.
Who reached out to you?
Not one person.
Really?
Right. And had I been next to me, I would have said, do you need a Kleenex? Can I help you
That's
with
so
something?
Mama Liz.
But I wouldn't have gotten it personal, what are you going through? I would have just the Kleenex and
You want to console and say it's
anything
going to be
I could do.
okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I wasn't like, I mean, it was just a very
So that's
silent.
Liz.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how I would have taken that. She needs her space. I'm not going to interrupt.
Yep.
That's how I would have taken that.
No.
I don't want to
Really?
know. That's what I would have done and just turned to the window.
And I'm like, what can I do for you?
Mm-hmm.
Can I get you a Diet Coke with extra ice? Can I? What?
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
We're hearing from Rocky this morning at 800-447-7234. If I understand this right, this is some kind of adoption story, Rocky. What's going on?
My wife and I in our 50s started adopting kids from overseas, and they came here with no language and listened to your music and, to the words. And actually, it's been an amazing journey to see God's work. We had 2 girls from India, 3 from China, kind of special needs and small special needs, but just to see the miracle that God's done in their lives has just been powerful. But the music to really transform these girls' lives. And one of the girls that was left to die on the side of the road, I just dropped her off just a few minutes ago at a junior college. And she told me, Daddy, I was malnourished. I couldn't walk to the mailbox. Now look at me. I'm walking into college. It's been a pretty powerful time.
That is, Rocky. Look at the difference that you and your wife are making with all these children that later on in life you decided to adopt.
Yeah, and had never really thought of doing anything like that. But when God moved and you listened and you did what he was leading, wow, life
Rocky,
changes.
You and your wife, you are champions. I love that you have so much love to give.
Rob and Liz,
His morning crew.
I don't know if there's anybody in your family or that you know that likes to watch the planets in the sky and know the solar system and things like that, or maybe a teachable moment for your kids. But this morning, right now, and for the next couple of days, they said between 5 and 6, while it's still pretty much dark. I know it's starting to get light, but there are some planets that are lined up right now, southeast.
Right.
I looked at my sky view just moments ago.
I was just going to pull this
and I'm
up.
like, this just looks amazing. It's just to the southeast, not to the horizon, but just a little bit above it. But you'll see Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, and Venus right now in the night sky.
It's so cool. So on Saturday, so this weekend, the moon also gets in that alignment.
Yeah, it's a little further away, so you'll
Right.
see the moon. So you've got to, right now you do. But yeah, like Liz is saying, this weekend it's going to be a little closer.
Yeah, and then Mercury later, like late June, will also end up in that alignment. So it's like it happened back in 2020, but it only happens every now and then. It's not an every night occurrence or even an every year occurrence. So I think it's pretty cool.
It is. I like it, and usually I like it when it's in the evening, not to have to get up really early to see
Right.
something like that. But if you're up early enough, at least you can take a look at the southeast and you'll see them between 5 and 6 and a little bit now. But when it gets lighter, of course, you can't see.
Yeah, and I like that you don't need a telescope or really binoculars.
Well, they
to
look
see.
like really bright stars, but those are the
Right.
planets.
But if you see Jupiter, that one's going to be really bright and shiny. Saturn a little bit, obviously, because they're bigger planets. Mercury, Mars, they're little teeny tiny dots in the sky. I give
Liz.
voices to everything, okay?
She does.
Little teeny
All the time.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
It's one of the most world's complex yet simplest things to do, to separate the Oreo cookie from the wafer and the cream. There's a certain knack, there's a certain way to do it, and when you do it, I know, first world problem, but still, it can be aggravating because you don't want to mess up the cream filling in between the Oreos. Some people like to separate them and just lick the cream off and
That's
then
the only
eat the
way.
wafer.
It's the only way.
Some people do.
Yeah.
I don't care. I just don't eat them. But it seems to be complex. So there's scientists that got together and they've developed a way where you can cleanly separate the wafer from the cream and not disturb the cream and be in perfect tack.
Okay, is there a certain way you hold it or?
No. They've developed and created the Oreo meter. Scientists got together to make this a reality, the Oreo meter. You put this thing in between what looks like Legos, and then it has a counterbalance of pennies on one side of it, and it twists, and boom, it's perfect.
So to eat my Oreo, I've got to have this contraption. I got to have a bunch of pennies, and then it separates it absolutely
Oh,
perfect.
yeah.
So it separates like the cream because when you twist them normally, like all the cream goes to one side.
Usually, but no, sometimes the cream busts in half, and it's just a mess.
Or the cookie breaks. Yes, I've seen
And if
that.
you want to get the cream out completely, this contraption will
We'll do
it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the Oreo meter.
Well, I'm glad they spent hours upon hours.
Scientists
upon
got
hours
together
for the greater
to
good.
do this. I know, right? A first world problem.
Oh, my.
Solved.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
If you happen to stream His Radio TV, because it's on every morning, hisradio.com, Roku, Apple TV, you will notice there's this big bag of what looks like honkin' chips sitting next to me. I promise you, this is what Mama Liz does. Liz just gives you food all the time and says, hey, would you like? Oh, I ripped a bag and it's starting to fall apart.
Look at that.
These are veggie straws, by the way, and I'm going to take a couple of them.
I will also make you clean up.
It's Rob and Liz, His morning crew on His Radio. Sorry for ripping your big bag of
It's okay.
30% fat, less fat.
Yeah, see, they're fairly healthy.
They're good.
Spinach.
So let me tell you, sorry for being rude and chewing in your ear. Liz is the type that just loves on everybody. She hugs everybody. I can't do that. I look at somebody and if they're crying, I'm like, okay, I just need to give them space. Mama Liz gets out the hanky and it's like, oh, you know.
Well, and that's okay.
She cares.
But but you care as well. It's just
I'm just giving space.
right. But
that's
sometimes
all.
I get it. You know, you're a little uncomfortable in that, and that's not a problem.
Plus, I'm the creepy old guy.
Most of the time, I will say that I will stay away from hugs. But last week was a really rough week, and I was down, and Mama Liz came over and just held me tight.
Yeah.
And it was the nicest hug.
And this is Harlan, by the way, who's going to be filling in for Liz next week. She's from the afternoons. You hear her on the afternoons on His Radio. She just moved from Houston, Texas, far away from everybody. So it's like you'll have those moments where he's like, oh, I miss everybody.
Right. You're
Right?
just alone, and somebody's there, and I saw it, and I do pick up on your social cues. So if you would have given me a red sign, I would have not given you a hug.
So she's like that. Mama Liz is like that. Hugs on everybody who just needs a little bit of comfort. Etta's here at 800-447-7234.
I agree with Liz. I had a situation where I was walking into a restaurant and this lady was just bawling her eyes out. And I just went to her and I said, can I hug you? And I just let her hug on me until her kids came to pick her up. And it was one of those situations where her date took her just to break up with her. Just being there for her just gave me such a sense of closeness to God.
I love, Etta, that you reached out like that to help that young lady when she's going through what she's going through.
Oh my gosh, it made me feel so like this is what God is. You know what I'm saying? It's not about how many times you read a verse or how many verses you memorize. It's being there. I think you guys say something in your commercials, we're the physical hands of Jesus, and so being there for people, I think is so much rewarding, being able to being there, just being present, because there's always going to be someone there for you.
Next time I have a down day, I want you around, Etta.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm always here available for anyone that wants a hug. I'm a hugger.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Yeah, if you're going to be taking an Uber or a Lyft, looks like you don't have to take the mask.
Didn't they do that on the airplanes?
They did.
Yeah.
Monday, I think, is when that happened. And so if you're taking a flight or if you're in the Uber or the Lyft, they say, you know what, we're kind of following what is happening around the world and you don't have to take the mask. It's optional, obviously. I mean, it's your choice. So I think it's a cool move.
Oh, listen, I took a flight, what was it, January, spoke at a men's retreat and led worship in it in Utah.
Yeah.
And that's a long way away. Had to wear a mask the whole time. It took me an hour to get used to it.
I can see that.
But I'm like, why? I don't want this on my face because I just can't. I don't go out all the time. So, I just didn't.
You're not used to it.
No, but it took about an hour and then I didn't think about it anymore after that.
Well, one leg of our flight this weekend is at least 7 hours long, 7
You see,
to 9.
Liz is going to England, if you don't know.
And I was having a little anxiety about it, about wearing the mask the whole time.
Oh, you don't have to now.
Well, exactly. Or what I had planned to do was just pack a whole lot of snacks and drinks, and I'm eating.
The whole
I'm
time?
eating.
She's going to graze all the way to England.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I have one in my family. I have a veteran. I mean, Wes, my son, absolutely amazing, was in Iraq and back. And so when I hear about Sergeant K and his unit that served in Kosovo last year, I'm like, okay, he's the coolest guy that's around. Here's this one stray dog that came into the camp. And it was just searching for food. And then they fed this dog I mean, here you got this big army unit, and they're like, oh, look at this dog that's coming in. Came back just about every day, so it became a part of the unit, basically. His name is Duke. One day, Duke did not show up. Oh, no. And they're like, what happened? They literally went out and they searched for Duke all over the place. Found him a few days later, and Duke got shot.
Oh, no.
I know. What? So they got Duke. They nursed him back to health. He, meaning the sergeant, Sergeant K, that's what they call Sergeant Kesley, Sergeant K, got a real tight bond with each other. So they come back home, and Duke is, back in Kosovo. And they're just thinking, how can we get Duke over here? And so there's this whole thing, and I've got to get the name of this because I really love the name of this one organization that helped out. They call themselves Paws of War.
Oh, I like
Paws
that.
of War. And so they were able to raise enough money, get Duke to a veterinarian, help Duke out a little bit, and now Duke and Sergeant K are here in the U.S. reunited and together.
They got him healthy and then put him on a plane and sent him to...
Right? Isn't that so nice?
That is so... Because that is a step beyond what they really needed to do.
Right.
Maybe they went into it thinking, we'll just get him back to health and another soldier will come along, and somebody thought to go a step farther.
Maybe, yeah. And now he's home. So way to go, Sergeant K. And Pause for War.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I'm from the Tampa Bay area. St. Petersburg, Florida used to have a flea market or a jockey lot, whatever you call them, that was called the Wagon Wheel Flea Market. And there was a huger, it looked like it was Ferris wheel size wagon wheel at the opening of this flea market.
Oh, cool.
The Wagon Wheel Flea Market. So in Canada, they have this one place that has a huge hockey stick, humongous hockey stick that's on the front of this building. It's huger. It's larger than life. I guess you can play hockey in there. So this hockey stick that is made out of wood now has a resident woodpecker.
He's just trying to, first of all, he was just looking for food. And now, he wants to set up house. He wants to make a nest on this hockey stick. He doesn't understand what it is. He just sees it's wood. He's a woodpecker, and he's going to live there.
Yeah. I mean, he's moved in. He's paid his rent.
He's got cable connected.
Right. I mean, it's right there. And it's a community center that you can play hockey at with this big, humongous hockey stick on the front of the building. And so they're trying to figure out, how can we relocate this woodpecker safely? What do we do? How do we find it prime real estate somewhere else on a tree? Not our hockey stick.
Well, evidently he likes a larger home.
It looks like it.
Maybe he has a large family or, planning a family reunion. I'm not really sure, but he likes his space. So if you know of some prime real estate in Canada where he could relocate to, let us know.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Tomorrow, somebody's going to win that first grill in the block party that's going on here at His Radio.
I'm so excited to give this grill away, because you get the choice between a charcoal or a gas grill. And it's getting warmer where you're going to get out and you're going to want to do these types of things.
I want to already, and I can't cook.
But
for the
you
life
grill.
of me. No, I can't grill either.
Who's a griller in your family?
Everybody but me.
Really?
Seriously.
Eli's out there flipping the hamburgers.
I can't. Mama Liz can cook, not Rob. So here's what's happening. Okay, I don't want it to be kind of, where you can't figure this out. There's a block party that we're giving away. So somebody's going to get the bounce house, the inflatables, the music, the DJ, Mama Liz, and the karaoke, and all that other stuff. We have one of those to give away. I mean, it's huge. It's huge, and you can have the block party wherever you want. But we're also, between now and Memorial Day, before we give away the block party, giving away a grill every week.
Every Friday, somebody's going to win a grill. It might as well be you. And this block party, you get to invite your friends. It's not just for the 4 or 5 or 6 people that are in your immediate family. You get to invite people to come hang out with us.
So when you go to win the grill or the block party, you could win a grill.
Yeah.
Between now. And we're going to do that every Friday. So go online, hisradio.com. You can go to the My His Radio app. You'll see Block Party right there, or we'll just send you the link directly. Just text the word party to 800-447-7234. And who knows? You just might win a block party or even a grill or even both from His Radio.